The people with soft voices don't get heard, and this people probably will want to hear them. So we're going to start with Jim. I'm Sharon Moody, and I'm a member of our area planning committee and also a member of the
My name is and I belong to them.
That's what you think. There's somebody there, but I don't know who it is. Ian's there. Ian Robinson is there.
Michael Zimmer, biologist, Okanagan Nation Land.
Kathy O'Malley, Water Users Community, and Emerald River, something with the brand. Thank you. Sam Stevenson, waterfront property owner.
Mel Carroll, Grand Forks Wildlife Association.
Shay Wolver with the 3,000 with the Pablo Federal Tribe, County State. On Southern Pablo Federal Tribe Fishery Biologist.
Bill Laramie, Fishing Culture. Rock Public Tribe.
Hi, I'm Brent Dennis, professional engineer consultant in the wastewater, onsite wastewater industry. Founding president of the Western Canada Onsite Wastewater Management Association of BC. Currently as the past president, waiting for another election.
Bill Screwcroft, Christina Lake resident. Gary Shaw, director, Christina Extreme Society.
Regina Ortiz, Christina Francis Limited, waterfront property owner. Christine Thompson, developer, City of Grand Forks. Extended the City waterfront property owner.
Dennis Stone, Five Water Users.
Randy Balin, Christine Lake resident. Cindy Ellis, Christina Lake Shore Society, and coordinator. We have practices for their contingency down.
Ray Hanson, Stewardship Society Director, and Watershed.
Maureen Hanson, a member of the Christina Lake Stewardship Society, and also a member of the Boat Access Society.
Ron Gavetta, property owner. Peter Bowman, president, Christina Lake Stewardship Society, and also property worship property.
Grant Watt, coordinator of the River Watershed National Plan for the region visit. Tom Gates, community coordinator with Christina Gateway Community Development Association. Cameron Blackwell, advisor to the local.
Phil Mackey, dive supervisor for the regional district, no oil program.
Shannon, operating owner.
Rob Freeman, Christina Lake Waterfront property owner.
McConnell, water users and waterfront property. Bart Stewart, the coordinator of the Boundary Indian Treaty Society, and also director of the Stewardship Society.
Alan Stanley, general manager of environmental services for the good job.
Mark Anderson, general manager operations for the Boundary.
Carly Mel, advocacy.
Mike Sokol, impact assessment biologist, leadership environment, and technology.
Any of you, Christina Lake resident.
Very Wally, waterfront.
Mike Berwater, Director, Christina Lake Waterfront Property Owners Society.
Leo Moran, I provide the water testing for stewardship.
Doug Representatives, Director, Stewardship Society.
Robin Elkins, I believe is on the title.
Debbie?
Donna G, Manager of Planning and Development at the Regional District. Lisa Vessel, Ecosystem Biologist with Forest Land and Natural Resource Operations, and a Director with Sunbury Invasive Species Society. Currently with Arctic Steward Stewardship Society and also a member of the Boundary Habitat Stewards and the Communities.
Heather Lane, I'm Senior Stewardship Assistant and Brenda's right-hand woman.
Louis George, Christina, Waterworks District.
I'm Ken Stewart, Christina Waterworks District.
Okay, thank you everybody. We are missing a few people, and when they come in, hopefully we'll get them to introduce themselves also. And sir, I actually mentioned your name, but
Ian Robinson, a Director of the Stewardship Society.
there we go. Okay, so welcome, and I am Brenda Rager. I'm the elected official for Christina Lake, and part of your facilitator today, the other part is Brenda LaCroix. And Brenda actually is probably the first person you're going to hear from today. And actually, I think if you haven't been here before, maybe you haven't been at one of these before. I know, okay. You're going to find it, I think, endlessly fascinating. We do a really, really good job. Brenda puts this all together, and her right-hand woman, I might add. And the province has been so supportive, and has the regional district that's coming and attending this and giving their reports to you. So let's march on, and without too much chitter-chatter from me, you are really, really fortunate to have Brenda LaCroix heading up the Christina Lake Stewardship, and she's been doing that for a number of years. She knows what she's talking about, she's always interesting, and please put your hands together and let me welcome her. Thank you. It works. Loud. Make a stop. Okay. I'm gonna keep it out. It's too loud. Turning it off. Hello? That's better. I'll talk it like this, maybe? Okay. A little bit lower. That's good now, right? Put those items here from the chat. So welcome to our annual commencement meeting. And that's the business of the youth program. This is one of my favorite things that we did this year. Once again, this is Heather. This is our Watershed moment. Just to remind everybody why we do what we do here. We had a survey, and many years ago, when we first formulated Watershed Management Plan, and we keep on updating. Under these broad statement categories: water quality, fishery sustainability, wildlife values, coastal and stream bank modification, forestry practices, and non-native invasive species. And under each one of these categories, there's a lot of subsections deal with intricacies of water quality, fisheries, etc. We're still working on a documentary, our Underwater World. We have 43 of the 55 known species, so it's getting harder. These are the plants that there's not a lot of, so we're finding it difficult to find them. So we're going to try to get all 55, and we are also looking for new introductions. We do critter cam sharing. I don't know if those of you that remember from last year that we had quite a bit of elk butts and knocking down the cameras and things like that. So other people are sharing their photos, and this is on boat access. And this is one backyard. So they had a moose, 2 shots of the cougar coming and going at different times, like that was late in the spring. A cougar and a coyote. So that was just 1 yard. So if you don't know what's happening if you're seasonal here and one of the critters goes to your yard, we do wild safety C, and this is the same as bearware, but we're including all animals that either come into contact with our watershed. It's a holistic view of living together with wildlife. And let's do the sounds.
Well, it's too bad, and I'm not going to do the sound for you. So I wanted to see if happy the pews in the word. Oh, I had, when I was a kid, I thought it was back to pop. It's a pew. Anyway, you visualize it. Okay. Breathe down. Oh, it's showing you the next slide. Okay, so we'll run a slide showing you go back to this and then you can get the sound. Okay. So I can go. Okay, well, we'll just go on. I thought that was good. Conservation Officer Western will be talking about wild safety of the sea and enforcement issues in our watershed. Youngsters have found the youth programs and led its great success this year. Heather and Holly and a few volunteers did the past job. And here's some of the pictures of what the kids did with microscopes, and taking leaves and planting trees and getting out in nature and then finding them. So we do fantastic fish, beautiful birds, serving water, plumbing the forest, meat picking, animal identification, being safe in the wild, nature walks, species at risk, and learning at volunteering. This is a child activity, so we learn together and bring them together to continue on with it. And then we make animal practice from the things that we do. We've read all coming on July, September 1 and both on monthly and on Saturday when we do there for all. Don Vito will be discussing research in the forest and stewardship plan and one that's going on there with outdoor harvesting. And Doug is not here yet, but hopefully he'll be showing up soon. And he will discuss planning programs and timeline for involving so some of our monitoring programs and field projects are in the we call them the cooking artists. So yeah, so if you think it's time to do this. We do monitor and try to educate protect habitat for species at risk, and that includes rattlesnakes, tiger salamanders, western snakes, and the rubber boa. There are approximately 105 plants and 100 animals that are sort of down there. And I don't know if any of you have seen it, but if you go put up rs2weeks.com, which is the global forecasting of all the species that will be in the state in 2016, and it's estimated, not making the following year. This is happening. So I'm really happy that the government started to look at climate change more seriously, and hopefully we go forward a little bit more policy. Neil's picture's missing. What?
Here I am.
There he is. This is very weird. Okay, so anyway, water quality monitoring program for 2015. Mike will be discussing the data results from that. It's called the nitrogen, phosphorus, planting chlorophyll A, water purity, dissolved oxygen, and temperature. And yeah, there was a really nice degree over there. Brent Dennis is here. We'll be discussing. Okay, so he'll be discussing public health and wastewater quality, which is going to be very exciting. That's a new topic for us a little bit more in depth. And that's just one of the finds that we have out there. For that this is our drinking water, so we need to protect it. Fisheries information would be screening shore spawners. We're hoping to get some funding to be another shore spawner in addition to 2016. Caldwell Tribe Fish and Wildlife is here, and they put some stream fauna spoken history on Sanders Creek, as well as gave some rainbow trout heads that were cut out of the lake through the analysis. And Holly McConnell will be discussing their current research on upper county watershed and 5 of its own details and notes and types of research that you on right now. Okay. Our voting nominations for this year was pretty low compared to last year, which was fabulous. But if you look 4 years back in 2011, it was low, and so this, the 5,813 that was standard, that's the opposite of from 2011. The Craig Creek was down and Sutherland was down, but then, you know, the numbers for those two cases that have been filling all that other stuff haven't been that big. Well, and I just came over already, so that's good. The Nobel Control Program is done by RTD now, and I'm not going to do it, right? Let's see, what is project in United States? No, I'm not now be louder. Okay, so I would like to thank the Millville group for placing these boys in the spring and taking them up every fall. And these boys are put there mainly to protect some species at risk, but also Millville is really moved into that really well, so it helps them train in order to bring them in. Okay. This is the big project for the next 4 years, and it's our riparian wetland restoration demonstration site. And we are going to be doing the gardening with native plants in 2016, so people know what plants they can plant in this area. That's just our entrance gate, and that's the nice sign. And underneath there's a support plaque of everybody that donated. And I really want to thank Grace for really helping to see this particular issue, because it's been a dream of us for a long time. So we did get gas tax and Phoenix Foundation, the province of BC, and quite a bit of funding for this. And so it's going on for 4 years, but it's going to be going on in perpetuity. It's a legacy and something that we can leave for people that have native plants in their yard and take care of their ecosystems and the habitat and wildlife that that brings. This is a map of the demonstration site for sub-treatment units, and the plants that we're growing in the nursery will be used for the restoration in the demonstration site, as well as other projects within the boundaries, such as Graham and Canyon and Bar. And bushel owners, or whoever would like to have native plants in my hydro. This is a copy of sub-treatment unit 1. We got this in just before frost and snow. And this is live roots and also growing cuttings. And there will be a video showing a bunch of the whole construction and everything we did. Here's Heather. The aquatic invasive species program, the zebra and tiger mussels, including other species that we're looking for. Heather will be presenting on that, and we will be showing the mussel trip video at lunchtime as well, and it's available on Facebook and YouTube. Boundary Invasive Species Society. There's a picture of Barbie and a picture of Barbie. That's quite a long time ago. Okay. Barb will be presenting information on terrestrial invasive plants and treatments that have been done in the watershed, our watershed, and also provide an update on provincial and federal regulations and initiatives for stopping the spread of aquatic invasive species in BC. A lot of news on that. There's Grant. I found a picture of Grant somewhere, so hopefully I'll need a new one too. Okay. And that dry part is actually taken from a newspaper article about July the 28th. They did a little for drought, and Kettle was on that. And there's Maddie, and Graham did a great story about Maddie the Mad Trout. And so we'll be talking about implementation on the Kettle River. Jenny's not here yet, but she's supposed to be coming here with Caddis. Is she still coming?
Yeah, she's sick.
Okay. So Jenny's going to talk about threat assessment project, which has been completed. This is still under review, so she'd love to have your input on what she has to say. And we're talking about erosion, and there was a fish kill this year because of lethal water temperatures. The dock removal project, you guys got to give Peter and all stewardship directors a great big round of applause for tons and tons of garbage that they took out of the site. The amount of time it takes and effort, and it's just a huge, huge project. I'm just so proud of those guys. They just put so much time into it. So you'll see a video presentation of everything that's been coming the way, and this has been going on for a few years now. So, Peter, with all these barrels full of styrofoam,
No.
these ones weren't. Okay, those are the other ones.
That's what the other day.
Okay. Now we're getting to right over the past 16 years. All our supporters and partnerships, and who we have to thank, and there are a lot of them. We have provincial government support. You see the list. I won't read everything because it's going to be fun. The federal government and the regional district areas, and Christina Parks and Rec people, with First Nations, Open Nations Alliance, and Mobile tribes that show up to these meetings and to get input. Non-government organizations, it's you, it's Boundary Bases, the Stewardship Center BC Lake Stewards, Looking by Water Project is no longer around, but we're still using the material, which is awesome. Real Estate Foundation, Chief Defender of the Environment, Blue Water Project, so on and on it goes. And then colleges and universities that have supported us, Selkirk, the EBC of Okanagan, Portland State University, and I forgot to put you on there. You can see all the logos on the side. So we built up a lot of partnerships. And volunteers. This is everything the volunteers do for us, and our contribution this year was $138,000 of in-kind contribution time. That's people, services, contractors, equipment, office supplies, name it, it's on there. Okay. Yeah, they are awesome. Contact us if you have any questions, and I know that blue part's hard to see, but we have our cards here at clss@shaw.ca. We have a website. Cindy told me that the info that Lake Stewards doesn't work, so we're looking into that because we don't know why. And Christina gives ours to join the tech, and his is our Merry Christmas card, and I call this our rendition of Dear Headlight. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Great.
I'm sure you'll have more questions as time goes on. Actually, Brent Dennis, do you need the, are you showing any kind of a?
Yeah.
You are? Okay. So we'll leave the lights down a bit? Yeah. No, you're coming up after Mike, but I just wanted to know whether, and Mike, are you using any PowerPoint? Okay. All right. So we are actually very fortunate to have Mike Phillips here, and Mike Phillips has been here many times, and he does a really good job of updating us. Environmental impact biologist he is, Environmental Protection Division, Ministry of Environment, and TICTEN. So he is going to chat with us on sampling results. Mike, thanks again for being here another time.
Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to start off by thanking the Stewardship Society for their support for helping me out and tackling when we can't get here. So we can only get here for seasonal family growth from our 35 years in spring and late summer, early fall. So without the Stewardship Society, that would be a big tool. And we want to say that for everyone that I deal with in the province for stewardship groups, this is by far the most active group that I see and Philadelphia. You guys did fantastic work, so thank you. And thanks for everybody. So I just want to start off, I guess, so Christina Lake is a part of a larger monitoring program. So for the past 35, 40 years now, Mission department has been sampling Christina Lake, looking at long-term trends. And for the past 8 years, I've been fortunate enough to be sampling here. But we have some sample sets in the Okanagan and the upper Swamp area that's part of the regional sampling program. But with last year and kind of over the past year and a half, 2 years, the restructuring of the industry environment. I wasn't here last year to get this talk, so I wasn't part of the group and dealing with it. And now that I'm back again, it's fantastic because I have a passion for lakes and it's a good fit for me. But with the new restructuring, there's now more of a provincial focus for my work. So one of my initiatives over the past several years has been trying to get lake monitoring network across the entire province. So there are several areas that have excellent long-term monitoring. So we've got the Okanagan and Shoe Swamp and some areas in Thompson and Caribou have had very long-term monitoring and on the horizon. Whereas the Coonies north of half the province and along mainland really hasn't had much lake monitoring at all. So Christina Lake is now part of a larger group and trying to fill in all those gaps. So that's the area we have to cover. So whereas there are 8 provincial offices, so I'm inside of the Indian office, and I'm just dealing with the same ones that I was dealing with before. But the Nelson office is could be getting a bit more. The north is a huge problem, but we're trying to get social groups up there involved, trying to get park staff and folks talking up the slow process. So right now we have this past year we sampled 100 lakes, and there are some capacity issues that we're trying to do for next year. But the goal is to get long-term monitoring how we have 15 lakes and for several lakes around the province. So it's really an initiative. It's a matter of getting it done. So the main goals are providing water quality data to inform decision makers in the government and also the public, which is really important as well. So I always like coming here and sharing the data. Even if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's still nice to chat and get some information out of it. We're looking at current status and also long-term trends. So we have the benefit of having long-term to see what the trends going on, what the trends are going on. And we're comparing them to water quality objectives. So water quality objectives are site-specific management targets. So there are water quality guidelines, which are more general and they cover the entire province, or there's even kind of federal guidelines that are more general. But here in 94, there were site-specific water quality objectives. So looking at local conditions and how that's water quality. There's a variety of parameters. Now we sample them on a 20-year rotation schedule. So last time it was done in 2011. That was a full suite. The reason we can't do it so quickly is funding and capacity issues, but every 5 years for a lake that's of the water quality is on time basis. So just some basics here. So we've got drainage areas of almost 500 square kilometers. Discharge to Hill by a flushing rate of 4.5 years. So that's the theoretical flushing rate. So that's the entire volume of the water, how long it takes for all that water to be developed, doesn't just come out evenly. There are areas where a lot of water is flowing through faster. So this one that's really the theoretical flushing rate, just from inflows to the and that has an impact on water quality. So if you have a really long residence time, like Okanagan Lake, for example, is in the order of 40 to 50 years, like 750. A large lake like Shoe Swamp Lake, which is just over 1 year, so streams passing through, and there are 15 lakes, 4.5 years for average for the size. There are water licenses for domestic use. That's drinking water, recreation, extremely important here. There's no direct point source discharges. That's a good thing, but I think you get problems with it because essentially you know where the problem is, where the huge problem. That's a are kids there and have nothing to do with them. So things like force activities, and more diffuse larger scale issues. And just underline that last one, right? But it's overall, the water quality is very good. So there are times in the 90s when conditions, like climatic conditions, were more wet and we had more runoff. Then we see that in the data growth. But overall, water quality is good. So that's two samples that we look at. One is the North Peak site, and the subbasin with much. So the deep one goes 51 meters, I think, and the subbasin 26 meters. And we sample here in spring and fall for a variety of parameters, and every 5 years we come back and do a full for the sampling, which also includes some shoreline sampling too. But the central open water sites really are representative of the overall water quality of the basin. So that's Fabulous Basin, taking multiple sites around there, but that central spot where we continue to sample year after year is representative in the basin. So they put these through the parameters of the sample. So the Associate Society looks at profile, so top down to the table, not from the north, but from the table, looking at the temperature profile over the growing season and also psychedelic, which is water quality. We have a variety of parameters, so physical, chemical, and every 5 years relative to so the key nutrients to look at is water delay, artificial fertility, and a variety of other parameters that I won't be presenting on. More data. So we're adding a little bit more to the program now. There's a racial lake monitoring program. We're going to be adding more to it. Okay. Take home message here is that it's consistently low. It does have ups and downs, but it's always below the specific water quality district. And this year, no exception. There are some differences in the upper layer, the shallow layers, but the deeper layer, and really not that much difference in water sources. So nitrogen is an important nutrient for water life in the lake. However, it's not the most important. So the most important to say would be phosphorus. So the reason it's the most important is because it's limiting nutrients. So it's that's what controls the algal growth. So if you have a lot of phosphorus coming into the system and running on a lot of nitrogen, the phosphorus becomes on nutrients so they have increased algal growth, potential for decreased oxygen, which causes problems for fish and the estimates from oil was about 100%. I doubt it changed every month. We do a little bit here and there. Most of the phosphorus is coming in from the Watershed, which will be coming through the streams. So natural processes, but also through the winter use in agriculture and show that's in oil. So there's septic as well as the water component and atmosphere. And atmosphere is one that most people really kind of forget about. The dry deposition, but also fossil and rain on the floor. So it is a significant component. So we can measure all at once, and then whatever's left is called that. So the phosphorus, you can see some trends over time. So there's it's really quite cyclical in nature. So it actually follows similar trends to like the study of Okanagan, the Shuswap, some like even up north and even like so you're looking at larger scale climate change. So there's a lot of noise in between, but even in the end result again, you can see in the long that it's peak here and then it's down, you got a peak again and it's down, and it's next to the cable scale climate oscillation. So in those wetter years, those wetter decades, you're getting more runoff coming in and that increased voltage will show up in the lake. So a lot of the really fine scale impacts you don't really see. So to be able to see it, that means with continuous monitoring systems near shore or some of these properties to really see if there is a difference. Another potential way to look at it is if there's a lot of algal growth, there's a lot of natural algal growth, but if it's really coming up in huge amounts, there's but this is what we can really overall. Last year, things were back down pretty quite low, so it was actually right at the metric section of the one of those. The next one we look at is coastal rate. So this is a measurement of the flow synthetic pigment in algae growing in the lake. So if you have an increase in phosphorus, then you'll have a corresponding increase in algal fertility. But this gives you so there's no real footprint. Again, in the 90s, in Southern Europe, when there was kind of higher phosphorus or higher algal, but it's because it's measuring the biological components, but it's a lot more complex. It's not the thing but it was a bit of a peak last year, and this year, right back down to the we specifically see over the past few decades. So we don't have water quality objectives because it takes into account the seasonal averages. So this is one that we can only look at the gauge every 5 years. For the past few, or actually, any of these, the mean but have been below the water quality objectives. So I would expect it to be. So this is essentially what the is like for lake is like for water quality. Very clear for most of you guys. I had a picture of this green lake, which essentially looks like it is the exact same amount. You can see the line on here, and you can see it. So take home message again. Excellent water quality here. So you can see, I don't collect most of that data. That's good. Collecting most of that data. So this year was, there wasn't any huge outcomes except for in the midsummer, because it was so dry that there really wasn't any runoff from the so there was very critical for the algal productivity was very low. So the corresponding water clarity was and then it comes back up in the summer when we have an increase in natural increase in algal fertility and the water clarity. Again, similar trends to previous years. So the average what we're going to was 10.5 and you can see above 10, which is the water quality that is. You can see that since 2006 we have to get in some 1990s, but they've all been relatively close. These are the ones that haven't made it, I've been quite close to the objective, so there's really not much variation going on. The temperature is an interesting one here because it was such an early, hot, dry summer, and it's just everywhere. So the similar peak surface water temperature to last year, which was 25 in the north and 26 in the south, which was one of the more earliest peaks that I've ever seen in the data that we have. So normally we get a peak with a peak temperature, or surface water temperature in August. Most of the time it's late August, sometimes early August. But this was October month. So even the very first point is the end of July. So the red one there, the one first to the left, was March 31st. So normally it should be like a straight line in March. So that means the speed is going up really quickly. they note that some of the decreases in surface temperature in areas that were blanketed by smoke for a long period of time. The smoke was actually cooling things down a little bit. But this was definitely one of the longest and earliest onset. We'll look at developed oxygen as well. So this is just a graph of all of the 2006 happened. So the objective is that line at 8, and the objective is that all developed oxygen should be above 8. However, the objective was not based on data that went all the way down to the bottom of the lake. So it wasn't complete data. So there is more oxygen in the very bottom of the lake. However, it's not the impact to the fish. Fish are not going to be down there. They're not going to be swimming down there. And everything that's going in the water column that's settling down to the very half meter, 1 meter off the bottom of the decomposing and affecting composition. The oxygen level. So it's nothing to worry about. It's just a natural process. And the cell phase with the shallow, the whole water column full of oxygen. There the three main profiles here. So the source delay was the alpha productivity. So we have that heat in alpha productivity between 10 and 20 meters. They're respiring, so that they're producing oxygen for the other corresponding to oxygen. And it's just a classic temperature profile where warm in the upper layer, and then we can see the thermal content kind of critical layer, and then it shuts the decreases below that. So this is completely similar to the previous years. Summary, so this is a summary of what we see on waterfall inspection. Seasonal average for flood delay is spring and fall in there, we don't have the seasonal data. But everything fits with a single comment. Nutrients were low, chlorophyll was very low. Second average was depending on the target, and then again the developed oxygen in the fall. 24 meters and below. There's still oxygen there, that's just it's quite that that's what we're about. And as I said before, take a message. So what's next? We are going to be continuing watching spring and fall. Hopefully, we should try to get into numbers of getting the temperature and setting measurements. Look lines, checking at the rate of authority and so basically the options for getting oxygen. Yeah. Yeah. So most of the meters are left. So we are going to be doing this data. The provisional rate work that I mentioned. My goal is to have a really nice website with rating and so companies data comes up. I don't know if that's realistic, but it's late. It's a matter of whether on the website creation. On a provincial scale, education probably hasn't done so-called stated environment reporting for a long time. And you have the right type of report to go, something that's more easily accessible than something that we can do. Trying to figure out how to actually do that. So hopefully this time next year we'll basically give you a plan for us to go forward. And question mark besides so my goal is to come back here next year and do the monitoring again. And also to do a quality statistics and do 5-year rotational scale. I wrote 5 years in quotes. Anywhere between 12 and 8 years. If we can get funding, then I would definitely do that. And that's it. So And thank you so much to the budget for so that's really appreciated. You can invite back next year and I can come up and
Any questions?
So if, there's a possibility for me to hear by sentence.
Okay, so parasite facility, if you don't know, parasiting is algae growing on the on rocks and just like attached algae that you can use your shore. So that is part of our game management. So again, if we have funding for that, then I would be going to use this time. And it's pretty 50-50, I'm not too sure. That would be one of the first things to go if we were to something out of the unit program, we do that initial sampling. We only have 2 really good years of that data. I'm really like a third to really have to make sense from.
Any other questions for me?
What is the total number of water samples you were talking about in the report?
The total number, so it really depends on what we're talking about. Like there's one scoop of water in the spring can get you a lot of the various parameters. So there's different kind of leaks involved in water, but it's one sample in the spring, one sample in the fall, and then each of those years is depending on what was just that kind of one point time. So it's a snapshot in time, but it is that one sample point that you can look at every year.
10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it's a small amount of the water column, but not a lot.
Sorry, maybe that's a so that one sample, it is like a surface graph. It's a representative composite sample. So for the surface layer, or what we call the epithelium, we take 1/3 of the bottle at 1 meter, 1/3 of the bottle at 5 meters, and that's representative of that surface water. And then the second sample for the hypovolume bottom water that's taken at 20, 32, and 45. And those are put together as one sample. So it's kind of a mixture of the water that are represented. Is that a great question? Okay.
Well, is there any thought given to what might happen with water quality and rate as we go into science and water,
It fully depends on the lake. So I think this is really a lake specific situation. So for Christina Lake, which is a relatively big lake of moderate size, there are few lakes that are much bigger and deeper, but it is considered quite deep and large. Those lakes that have a larger volume will be much more resilient to change. So if you have a lake that the forecasted climate is going to be for a dry up hotter condition. This year was extremely dry and hot, and we didn't see really that much change in the native side. However, there's potential for kind of more short impact. But really good say within the circumstances that on our really so the shallow lakes near that are very shallow that have a lot of algae. But if that inflow water isn't coming in and not flushing, then it might get worse, but it's getting worse than really bad. Like Okanagan Lake, which is really long residence, the potential is there because the water is in the lake for so long, the potential is there to have a lot of problems. But because the volume is so large, they're going to offset the issue. So I would say lakes that are 20 meters or 50 meters or less would be the ones that would be most highly impacted because if they're
water quality is in good condition now, then again,
Great, thanks a lot, Mike, and you know, as far as we're concerned, I think we have standing. We always enjoy the message that brings because we look forward to knowing what the lake looks like and how the graphing is going. So it's always really good information. So we are fortunate also today because we're going to do with us. And it was funny, I got this call one day and this gentleman said, "Hi, my name is Frank Dennis," and I met Jeff, and I said, "Okay, let's do that." No, let's have a coffee, and after having coffee, I said, "It's a business stewardship. We should walk down there and have a chat with Brenda and Heather and see what's going on down there, and maybe we've got an annual meeting coming, maybe you want to be part of that." So we are fortunate actually to have past president of Western Canada On-Site Wastewater Management Association of BC. And he's going to be presenting information on on-site wastewater systems. So Brent, thank you for joining us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Brenda, and all of you for inviting me to come and speak to you. There's not very many people in the province that really, really embrace septic systems. So you've met one now. I'm just going to grab this podium. Just so I don't have to hang over the paper. Well, that was a really, really interesting talk that Mike gave, looking at the lake water quality from the big picture. When I came up here, I didn't know what the primary focus was of this organization and all the other auxiliary organizations. So I'm starting to get a feel for it, and that really helped me out. I'm going to talk a little bit about how septic systems affect lake water quality, but really what I'm going to do is talk about, and when I do that, Mike, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a biologist or a chemist. I'm a mechanical engineer with a lot of process information and a lot of regulatory knowledge around septic systems. So I just want to put septic systems into context for us. You've probably all seen pictures like this. I stole this one from the U.S. Geological Society. Don't tell them. And you can see that basically water just keeps going around and around. And it goes around and around. It goes in small cycles. It goes in large cycles. The biggest, this is showing the entire cycle, all the different. And here's Christina Lake, you know, or a representation thereof. So we take water and we put it back in a small cycle there. The ick factor here is that when you look at this, we're all taking in what we call high quality water. It is very good quality water, but it's all we needed before. I heard once that if you do a calculation of the water molecules on the planet Earth, if you drink a liter of water, at least one of those molecules pass through the digestive system of some creature at one time or another. Next one. This is the short circuit cycle of wastewater. And that looks even more icky, you know, because this is where we're drinking from. And quiet here. But the old systems worked really well, and what we did was we at the end of the day, we relied on after our treatment system here, we released it into the groundwater where treatment effectively stops. We referred to the old adage of pollution to pollution to pollution. And if there was only 2 cabins on the lake, we wouldn't have a problem. Right? So as populations increase, the pollutant count increases. I like that slide that Mike had, showed a good sliver of that pie for the phosphorus and the nitrogen that septic systems are contributing to the problem with the lake. And that's everywhere. Note I forgot to mention was Like I work all over the province. I work in every jurisdiction in the province. And, two things I'll corroborate. But like I said, I've never seen, a lake society that is as committed as this group is here. So that's really quite wonderful. See lots of, what people refer to as Save Our Lake societies, because they're almost everybody has one, but this is quite amazing. So, yeah, sorry, it's been a while since I've had a microphone. I've been past president for too long from the society. I haven't been involved with it, so bear with me. But okay, I am going to try to get through this quickly. I don't have that many slides. I want to have time for questions and answers. You'll notice up at the top there, I started out by, when I put this together, I put health versus the environment. And then I changed it to and then I wanted to put that back and cross it out. I guess health versus environment is showing my age a bit, vintage, because it used to be out of sight, out of mind. And from a regulatory point of view, the old regulations were disposal regulations. And now we have treatment and dispersal regulations. So, so now we're starting to think in terms of not just health, but the environment as well. The interesting point is that the government hasn't quite caught up yet. The sewage system regulation under public health is the regulation that we live by right now, provincially. It's owned by the Ministry of Health. It came in 2005, and there's not one word in it for the environment. The entire regulation is purely for health. Now, to achieve the avoidance of health hazards, there are some spin-off benefits to the environment, but those were accidental. There's a lot of spin-offs that didn't happen. Now, I put up there the municipal wastewater regulation. That's the other regulation for sewage in this province. Typically, that's where you have your city sewers. The dividing line has nothing to do with organic loading. It has nothing to do with pollutants. It has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with the volumetric count for a single site. 22,700 liters per day on a single site of property. Below that, you're in the SSR with the health authority, no concern for the environment. Above that, you're using the MWR as a regulation for the electric system, and there's a whole other process there that looks at the environment. So, very quickly then, so the SSR is what we're looking at here. And in the SSR, the Ministry of Environment created a standard practice manual. Has everybody heard of that? The SPM, standard practice manual. Okay, you can get all 400 pages online. That tells us how they expect us, as a minimum, design septic system. Again, no relationship to the environment at all, only to protect human health. In that regulation, it refers to approved persons, people that are allowed to design and install septic systems. Those come in two categories: professional engineers and registered on-site wastewater practitioners. Engineers, of course, are regulated through APEC-BC, and ROWPs, or ROPs, are regulated through ASTP-BC. Both those organizations exist under provincial regulation, so they have a regulation. The health authorities are given under the regulation the process of administering in their own jurisdiction. For those of you who don't know this, I think there's 7 or 8 actual health authorities in the province, but there's only 5 that cover off the septic system world. Vancouver Island, Vancouver Coastal, Fraser Valley, Interior, and Northern. You guys are in Interior Health, very large area, and they collect filings, but they do not review them. Well, they're very selective on what they do, and so they don't have the boots on the ground, the horsepower to do much more than filing. So pretty much 100% of the responsibility for each system falls to the person who designed the system, planner or the engineer, not the installer, not the maintenance provider, not the owner, that's the designer, that one person, and there's no oversight. So that's the sewage system regulation. So where does the province go with respect to the environment, or people in the province go? Well, I put SPM version 3 under lake water quality here again, because there are a few items in there, a few items of the regulation that just by chance help the environment. We have minimum setbacks to high water line. That's probably the only one actually. Other regulations in the province that can come into play are fisheries and subject to adopt the riparian area regulation. I don't believe that's adopted here. No, but there are fisheries concerns. There's subdivision development, which falls outside the sewer system regulation. The regional district in a subdivision application may require the developer to use the SSR and criteria for septic systems to approve the subdivision, but it does go through the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of So there's a lot of checks and balances there. The one thing that the regional districts are starting to do is step up, and folks have done it here in a big way, is the traditional plan, particularly, which is very common, the 100-meter setback for the development permit area. Everybody familiar with that? Okay. Again, I've been involved in a study of why 100 meters for another jurisdiction, and so we're myself studying 100-meter setback regulations for the province where they exist, and I have to say that your area C 100-meter setback requirements for that are probably the best in the province. There, give yourself a hand. The administration of it is important, and there's things that can be added to it to make it much more effective. Small things that can be added that takes a little bit of understanding of the current technology and septic system remediation before we release it to the environment. So there's always room for improvement and work at it. One thing that in my presentation, taking big data, correct me if I'm wrong, looking at the overall lake's health rather than the beach right in front of your septic system. Yeah. So myself and the hydrogeologist that I work with, when we do 100-meter setback reports, we actually take interstitial water samples along the beach to see what the effect of the old dry well is, or the old system, whatever happens to be there. And and we can see it. We go down the beach every 10 yards, and you can take sample, and go, oh, septic system. So fortunately, it's not affecting the overall high quality of the lake at this point, but it's definitely measurable. And nitrogen and phosphates are things that we're looking for when we're looking at environmental impact, but are not mentioned in the sewer system regulation at all. So I'll say one last thing. Everybody knows that if it's got a septic system or had to put one in, you're aware that we're breaking down into 3 types. And with very creative naming capability, the government calls it type 1, 2, and 3. Type 1, septic tank effluent only, straight to the leach field. Type 2, secondary treatment to a certain quality, only measured to count or BOD, biological oxygen in, and both and solids. And then to the leach field. Type 3, better quality, lower BOD, lower TSS, plus the addition of disinfection. And then to the leach field. So that's it. Those are the 3 conditions. There's no nutrient removal. There's no pharmaceutical content. There's no oil and gas. There's whatever you're throwing down the septic system, which shouldn't be. And just so that you understand, done right, where the water is discharged to the environment at the bottom of the leach field, whether it's a type 1, 2, or 3 system, that the water quality when the final discharge from the design area is exactly the same. Does that make sense? Okay. Because there's a penchant for people to say, we need to have it better, so we better put a take to it. We want to protect the environment, we better put a take to it. Doesn't work. Okay. Because as you go up to take 2 and take 3, your fields can become smaller. Your organics that you're putting in are less. You don't get a biomass, and particularly if you're like a little sand or sand and gravel, that effluent just goes boom, gone. And there's much greatly reduced field treatment, which is what takes out particularly rate. Also gives the residents time for phosphorus to attach to soil. So there's little things like that that we understood when we get into the details. I put this together here very quickly because you're all going to write those down and go to your computer right away. Maybe you can type it in your phone. I'm assuming that this is going to be made available online. Okay, so those are hard links that go to those places. You can download the SSR, the regulation, and practice manual of Ministry of Health. Interior Health has a section on your environment, on say sewage. Don't know why they use the word environment, but they did. Regional District 50 boundary, bylaw number 1250, section 4, page 22. There will be a test tomorrow. And then non-government organization resources. From OBC, as mentioned earlier, I'm currently the past president. I was the founding president 5 years ago. It is the organization that does all the training for practitioners and products. APEG, which manages the engineers who work in our business. There's actually a roster on their website of self-declared engineers who self-declared that they're capable of doing the work. There's also a guideline for on-site sewage systems. I won't get into what a guideline for engineers means, but it is not optional. Engineers must follow the guideline. And it's about that thick. And if you're an engineer who doesn't know it, this is you should run away. ASDC, again, the RFP, typically the contractors, the people install. And there are similar to APEG, and that's similar to that. Questions?
We're having problems considering and they told us that the problems are going to be so as we don't have any jurisdiction on them. But we're under the transfer management whatever bad items. So that would be also on that. So what about else?
Okay, outhouses and privies. They're probably the most misunderstood part of the regulation because we choose as a society to convey our waste with water, except in outhouses. We don't convey with water, we get discharge. From our homes, we can carry that to buckets if we want, and then we have the same problem. Outhouses, the sewer system regulation says that it applies to any structure that discharges waste. So if there's a building over the loop, my opinion is that it's covered under the sewer system regulation. If they're out exposed to nature, maybe it doesn't. So outhouses are a thing that we inherited. We have them, but not going away, and the key is that they're done properly. Interior Health has a 2-page guideline on how to do it properly. They also have a policy that if you have pressurized water to your site, then you're not allowed to have an outhouse. Now this kind of, I believe, has become an unwritten policy because of the sewer system regulation and the confusion there. In this version 2 of the standard practice manual, specifically stated that the sewer system regulation did not cover grading. That statement is not in Article 3 because it is corrected. As long as you're not draining all your rainwater into your outhouse to get rid of it, then they can do a fine job. But there's a lot of other things around that need to be correct. Who regulates them?
About this education of septic systems and new ones and the mandatory requirements that I don't think still for the animal test. Nobody will see anybody to do that. So how that works?
It doesn't. What is simply, the regulation requires that homeowners do the requirement. It is a legal requirement of the landowner. It also says that you have to have a qualified, certified maintenance practitioner provider to do the work. So you should be getting annual maintenance, and probably if you're living there full time, have your pump every 3 to 5 years. Unfortunately, there's a serious lack of certified maintenance providers in the province. ASPP is struggling with the training and certification thereof. I believe that the organization responsible for oversight on that are the health authorities. But again, it's one of those things where the regulation came out, and they had all kinds of great ideas, and consequences of putting a big oversight load like that onto a particular body in this case, health authority. They just don't have the boots on the ground. So other jurisdictions, what they've done, the Capital Regional District is probably started first and has the biggest, I would think the next up would be the septic smart or septic savvy program, public education. And they've had great success in getting landowners to understand their obligation and to follow through and realize that it's not expensive and it is in your best interest. You don't want a $20,000 or $25,000 bill next year because you forgot to pump it next. So that's been very successful, not only on implementing the action of a bylaw in a couple of areas that requires you to pump your tank every 3 years, or having a set estimation to state that it doesn't require pumping tank. And that's going over well. They got a huge public education component that is on seminars and training sessions for owners. That was copied by the Columbia Regional District. And like I say, one of them is septic smart, the other one is septic savvy. The one I like about the Columbia Shuswap is they actually have a children's education program. If you go on the website, they have a coloring book. And you can imagine the body choosing colors for them. So I think my own opinion is money is going to be there tomorrow for all the oversight and all the enforcement. So public education is the fastest and direct way to start to get compliance from the I mean, we take the water into our homes and we pollute the crap out of it, and then we dump it back into the environment. We have a big responsibility to do that properly.
Now, wouldn't it be fun if we had lots and lots and lots of money here and we could sample the water all the way around the lake every so many feet and then up to the sky? It's just in my cool nature. We have free kits, but people do not voluntarily want to dump down. So you now get a break. So, yeehaw, coffee time, goodie time, chit chat time. So, when we'll be back at it, we have all 15 minutes.